All right, Super Bowl Sunday 59 coming up this Sunday. Matt, we need your pick. Who do you think comes out on top when it's all said and done? Last time it was the Kansas City Chiefs. Last time it was Pat Mahomes as the MVP. So who do we guys your pick, and who do we guys the MVP this time around?
All right. So last week in the AFC Championship, I took the Bills. I thought the Bills were going to get over that hump and, make it to their first Super Bowl in 30 some years. And I learned my lesson last week. I am not picking against Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs find a way. It's been improbable all year. They have found ways to win games that they had no business winning, right? Statistically, all of the measurements that we say are the musts to win games, they don't hit, and yet they continue to win ball games. I think Patrick and Andy are the best combination of closers in the league right now for sure, and they're in the discussion for the best closers in the history of the game. So I think the Chiefs win, and I'm going to play the hits, man. I think Patrick Mahomes gets another Super Bowl MVP. It's boring. It's not the right, it doesn't make for like the sexiest clip, but I just think they get the job done. I think they find a way. I think Patrick plays an excellent game, and they get the three-peat done.
Yeah, I just think it is unsmart to pick against Patrick Mahomes. And you know what, Matt? You're my buddy. You're my guy. But I'm glad that you learned your lesson, because you just, for whatever reason, this team just finds a way to win. And Mike is my beautiful, handsome host, and he's been finding ways, like you said, all the measurables. He's picked them apart all season long. But me, a Chiefs Super Bowl futures bettor in like July, is sitting here happy as a clam. Just said, I could have seen this coming a mile away. They pulled the gas pedal off and let Buffalo win in Buffalo. It's going to be, like you said, playing the hits. Patrick Mahomes is going to come out efficient. He's going to come out sharp. He's going to understand that offense on the other sideline has teeth, just like all the people that he's had to go and beat in the playoffs had. And he's going to show up like a weaponized machine, ready to unleash offensively. It's probably the healthiest this football team has been all season. And you see Xavier Worthy on there plus 3,000. In my opinion, that could be the guy. If it's not Patrick, I could see Xavier Worthy having a fantastic game. He really stepped up into another echelon in the AFC Championship game, and I could see him building on this thing in the Super Bowl.
I will admit I have been a Chiefs doubter, which I want to ask you this, Matt, because it's something that I think I've seen the past couple of weeks and I'm very curious about. When you are a team like this year's Chiefs team, and you've been a part of some teams that were very high expectations to start the year, a couple 1 seeds, team that went to the Super Bowl, how much are you saving in terms of the playbook, in terms of your offense, defense, whatever, in terms of play calls that can work, that will beat certain coverages and whatnot? How much are you saving during the regular season, knowing you can deploy it in the postseason? Or are the Chiefs kind of just in this unique spot where they can play a different game from everyone else with their expectations just being in a different sort of echelon?
I don't think you're holding that much in the clip. I really don't. I think as you go through the season, right, objective number one, win the division. And you are emptying that clip until you do, right? And then after that, it becomes, all right, can we get home field advantage? And then you're same thing, right? You're throwing everything you have at it. And I think Andy has always been that way as a play caller. Now, I will say this. I mean, he continues to come up. Like, we've heard stories about watching Tuesday Night Maction and him drawing up plays after just watching it on Tuesday night. So I'm sure there'll be a wrinkle or two. But, like, the plays they used at the end of the game last week were not new, right? They've run the roll pass to the right a ton of times. They've run the little slip deal that they got going the other way. Like, they've run all of those. They just execute them, and they call them at the right time, and they execute them better than anybody else. And so I don't think, I don't think they've held anything for this game.
I agree with you, Matt. I don't think they're holding anything in there. If anything, they got some trick plays that are saved that they didn't get an opportunity to empty the notebook on during the season that we could see. We saw the corn dog stuff. Historically, Andy loves this stuff. I got to ask you, you're talking about executing and finishing. Andy Reid and Patrick have been fantastic. If they finish this thing and achieve the three-peat, where does that put Patrick in your mind, historically speaking, in the game of football?
Well, I mean, in terms of a champion, he's the second. To me, it'd be number two, right? And I just Tom Brady has so many championships, and Patrick's on his way. But until you get there, for me, and I think Patrick would almost say the same thing, right? He's chasing that number of championships. I think it's the best 3-year run we've ever seen in the history of the league, and I don't think that's debatable, right? If you do that. So, as far as short-term dynasties, whatever you want to say, I think it would be the best. I think it would be the best stretch of football we have seen from an organization, from a quarterback, from a head coach, all of those things. But in terms of overall long-term greatest whatever, for me, he's still got to chip away at those championships.
All right, there you have it. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for this Sunday to see 5 Super Bowls in 6 years, going for 3 straight. Kansas City Chiefs, like I said, on another level right now.